On September 27, 2005, at 10:36 in the morning, Shen Jianhua, wife of Yun Quanmin, the big boss of Chitai Clothing Company in Ho Hot, walked into the Xinqing District Public Security Bureau with relatives to file a missing persons report. Her husband had vanished. Since September 25 he hadn't come home. From the 26th his phone was switched off. The 2.4 million yuan in cash he was carrying, his Mercedes 500, and an 80,000 yuan Rolex watch, all gone. Cops dug deeper. On the morning of the 25th, Yun left his place near the sports stadium for work around 8 a.m. Around 11 a.m., he called his vice GM and his wife demanding they pull out 5 million yuan ASAP. The family scraped together 2.4 million in cash. The next morning they delivered it to the spot he specified. After that, radio silence. At first, cops wondered, did this dude run off gambling? Was he shacking up with a side piece? They quickly ruled that shit out. This smelled like a straight-up kidnapping. They threw everything they had into the hunt. Pretty soon they found Yun's Mercedes. Evidence pointed to a second car involved, meaning 2 or 3 perps. Highway toll booth footage nailed the other vehicle. That brought 39-year-old Pan Yongzhong into the spotlight. Pan used to be Yun's right-hand man, general manager assistant at Chitai, running Shiyuan pants sales in Lanzhou. He got fired a few years back for skimming off the top and helping himself to company perks. On the night of September 28th, cops dragged Pan in for questioning and tore his place apart. They found 1.01 million yuan stashed in the basement, behind the vegetable pit, and other hiding spots. Game over. Facing the mountain of evidence, Pan sang like a canary. He spilled the whole nasty story. How he and his buddy Lu Jijun kidnapped, extorted, and murdered Yun Quanmin. At 5 a.m. on September 29th, Pan led cops to a small wooded area off National Highway 110. They dug up Yun's body. They also recovered the Rolex, 2 phones, and a wallet with over 5,000 yuan. On October 5th, cops busted Lu Jijun hiding in a rented place in Baotou. Lu's wife and sister got pinched too for helping cover his ass. Yun Quanmin was born into a regular Mongolian family on the outskirts of Ho Hot. He started working in 1987, became a star employee, then jumped into the clothing game in 1993 when he saw the money to be made. He created a killer cut for Western-style pants that actually fit Northern Chinese dudes, branded it Shiyuan, and founded Chitai Clothing. 3 years later the company was worth nearly 10 million. Yun wanted to go bigger and needed a real partner. That's when Pan Yongzhong became his number 2. Together they crushed it. Shiyuan pants took over Inner Mongolia and the Northwest. By 1997 profits had doubled. They built an industrial park. Money was pouring in. But once the cash got serious, things got weird. The company wasn't incorporated with shares, so Yun held all the power, money and personnel decisions. Pan was vice GM on paper, but nowhere near as rich as Yun. Resentment started boiling. In late 1998 Yun threw a dinner and promised Pan, "If we double sales again next year, I'll give you 5% of the pure profit, plus a villa and a car." Pan was hyped, and went back to grinding. In 1999 Pan got sent to Lanzhou to open up the market. He poured his own money in, worked like a dog, even skipped seeing his pregnant wife. He asked Yun to sign a proper agreement on his cut. Yun kept dragging his feet. Rumors started flying that Yun was sidelining him on purpose. That planted the seed. Pan started getting sloppy and greedy, pocketing profits. Yun hauled him back, chewed him out, and warned him. Pan decided he'd never make it big under Yun, and started plotting to go solo, stealing clients and cash. Yun wasn't stupid. In August 2000 he called Pan back for a meeting, quietly shut down the Lanzhou office, stripped Pan of power, and straight up fired him. The 2 former battlefield brothers became sworn enemies. After getting canned, Pan tried starting 2 companies. Both flopped. He lost everything and became convinced Yun had ruined his life. Meanwhile Yun was on top of the world, billionaire, president of the Inner Mongolia Garment Association. Every time Pan heard Yun's name he couldn't sleep. The hatred ate him alive. They shared the same social circle, so Pan kept hearing updates about Yun's success. It drove him insane. He tried reporting the company for violations. That backfired. Then in 2001 one of Yun's stores got robbed. Everyone side-eyed Pan. Friends started ghosting him. He became convinced Yun was destroying his reputation on purpose. That's when Pan decided Yun had to die. But he wasn't stupid. He knew he'd need money and time. First he had to take care of his family, aging parents, a disabled brother, kids from 2 marriages. So from 2001 he grinded. Worked at Inner Mongolia Infoport, flipped steel, opened an auto repair shop. By late 2004 he'd stacked $1 million, built houses for his folks, and set his kids up. In May 2005 he sold the repair shop and went full psycho mode, planning how to take out Yun. Pan linked up with Lu Jijun, an old co-worker from the ethnic mall who'd done 7 years for fraud, and was broke as hell. Pan floated the idea of kidnapping the billionaire and squeezing him for cash. Lu was all in. They rented a Santana and tailed Yun for days, learning his routine. They rented a safe house in the Guanghua Street area and even dug a grave, 2m x 1m x 1.5m, out in the woods near Hongda School in the eastern suburbs. Perfect spot to bury a body. September 25, 2005, around 10 a.m. They waited on the road Yun took to work near Haidawa village. Lu rear-ended Yun's car. When Yun got out to argue, Pan jumped him from the side. They took him down. They forced Yun to call his people demanding $5 million. That night they moved him to the safe house. The next morning the company only managed to pull together $2.4 million. Pan and Lu took the cash. On the night of the 26th they taped Yun up completely, hands, feet, head, threw him in a borrowed van, drove him to the pre-dug pit, and buried him alive. Shen Jianhua finally reported him missing the next morning. Pan was already on the cops' radar because of their bad blood. That same night they brought him in. They found $65K under the fish tank and over $900K in the vegetable cellar, total $1.01 million. Pan cracked and told everything. Lu bolted to Baotou but got grabbed on October 6th. His wife and sister got charged with harboring a fugitive. Yin Chuan means brutal murder shook Ho Hot. The factory that once had 400 workers on the line went dead quiet. The company took a massive hit but eventually pulled through. In the end, the Ho Hot Intermediate Court sentenced Pan Yongzhong and Lu Jijun to death for kidnapping and murder, stripped them of all political rights for life, and seized everything they owned. Lu's wife and sister got 3 years each suspended. The killers were also ordered to pay the family over 350,000 yuan in compensation. Cold-blooded greed turned 2 former brothers into monsters, and one of them ended up in the ground he helped dig.